Brother Dave, what say you?
Okay, I got to kick this one off first with a disclaimer.
Okay.
I am 120% against bullying.
We are a anti-bullying podcast, for sure.
Right.
With that being said,
Unless it involves Helen Keller and big backs, then it's fair game.
I really, really get a kick out of making fun of people. And I feel like I'm good at it. And I don't know why that's a wonder, but like I know how much I don't like bullying. I was bullied a lot as a child, but I mean I could give it back too. And with my vocal abilities and I've always been quick to be able to put a song together with just a few words. And I could get singing a song about somebody's grody ass teeth and how their mom probably put out to like half of a hockey team. And really put somebody in their place on a school bus. But I really
sound like an old Keith Whitley tune there.
Yeah, an old battle axe, buried in all sorts of wood.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was thinking about that and
Old battle axe.
but I was
What prompted this?
I don't know. I've been in a hell of a funk lately. And as my filter falls off. And it was actually just brought up when I was at the river.
Did you threaten to harm somebody at the river
No,
again?
not this time. But we visit our friends and we become friends with their camp neighbors.
You can just say the Ritters. They would love
so
it.
Ritters, yeah. We go visit the Ritters. And
Shout out Ritters.
We love the Ritters. Spadies are their camp neighbors. And this past time, Wyatt took his boat down there. And Spadies have a boy that's probably the same grade as Wyatt, but maybe a few months younger, I think. He's driving. But they went out and fished all day on the river. Not all day, all morning one day. And so we all go boating all day, and we come back, and we're talking, and Spady says, man, your kids are just... We talked about this the other day. This is well-behaved kids. He's like, this is going to sound shitty, but I mean it in a good way. But he's like, I have no idea how you have such good kids because it seems like you just don't give a about anything. I'm like, yeah, well, work hard, play hard. And like at work, I think that people are probably like, man, this guy's a real stick in the mud.
Corksucker.
Yeah. And but my filter has fallen off. There's just been a whole lot lately, and I don't know, my filter has fallen off. And
Like at work, you mean, or in general?
At work even. And I found myself like making comments.
You pretty passive-aggressive?
I don't think Dave's the passive-aggressive type.
It's more just aggressive. But I don't know. I just spot things and notice things, and I find myself, and then I'll think of these all the time. And the first thing to go is I'm always thinking of something like, oh, this mother lover, and I'm like, daggone, pants up to his tit wearing ass motherfucker, whatever, and keep on going. But I just think that. But here in the last couple weeks, I feel like my face has been saying, like letting loose what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then the couple weeks past that, like I feel like my mouth has just been saying what my head is saying. But then it hits me, oh, God dang it, Dave, get your shit together. Get your shit together.
So
I want to read a text message, but I can after further review.
Okay. So I don't know if it's like bullying. But
it's not. But
I think to your point of making fun of people, it's not necessarily making fun of people. I mean, you're not just picking out that one kid that can't climb the rope at gym class because he's a big back.
Right.
Like there are like other full grown. Like you're not picking on kids.
Right. I'm just like if there's somebody in a full display of douchebaggery,
you're calling a spade a spade.
A real prickly one though. Like I'll jump in there like teeth showing.
The thing of it is, like for me, I'll get that way, and I notice it when I'm off center, whether it's just stressed or a lot of stuff going on. Because generally, I've always lived by the motto of, like, you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar. So my style has always been like, hey, good to see you, bud. Like I'm very much like a personable person, but like when I'm in a bad mood. Like the personable person goes away and I cut deep and sharp where we had something going on. We were dealing with something at work, and I just went full like old lawyer defense attorney mode. And one of the guys texted me. He's like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "I didn't know you had that in you." And I was like, "Oh, that was on volume level 3. Like, get to 10 and figure out like what's going on." And he's like, "I don't want to see that." He goes, "I thought you're just this nice guy that was good at his job, but you can be an absolute ass." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can." But I don't want to be, because I don't like, because then I feel bad.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, hey, I'm just a little off. Like, I need a Snickers bar. Like, I need a nap. Like, need to not be here and to not be that way, because I don't want to be that guy that nobody wants to be around. But, like, to your point, I don't see it as, like, making fun of people. Like, you cut through the bullshit that they hear all day that, like, oh, hey, you're a great employee. Like, you're awesome. You know, you're excellent. Instead, it's like, you're a waste of air because you don't get your job done. I don't have a problem with what you're saying, because I do the exact same thing.
There's been many times before in a previous employment that I had where we worked with an individual that was rough and gruff, and one cool thing about it is I loved him. I loved him to death. Everybody was scared shitless of this old. And he was one of the greatest bosses I ever worked for, because he would he would rip your ass apart for doing something that, like damn good and well you were wrong, or you know what I mean? Like, you screwed this up. Like, you've been down here for 5 hours doing this, and this is 100% not what we need. Like, you're an idiot. Get up here and we're going to talk about this. And he'd get you on the ground, and he'd rip your ass, and up one side and down the other. And then he'd say, "Now get your ass back in there and fix it." You know what I mean? And then you'd go down there and you'd do it, And then the first couple times that happened, I would just kind of like cower like a bitch and just think, "Oh, I'm screwed. I'm so much trouble and all this shit, But then like the next night, you'd come back to work and he'd send you back down there to do some other kind of like tactical job that, like, he would just pick me out of the squad to go do something because he knew that I could do it.
He was an effective leader.
He was a very good leader. And the cool thing about it was it didn't matter. Like me, I'd probably only been operating maybe 3 or 4 years at that time. But, he would rip my ass just like he would rip your ass, and you've been doing it for 25 years. You know what I mean? It didn't matter who you were. If you deserved it, you were going to get it.
I think one of the biggest problems. Go ahead and get
in the water.
I'm gonna get my white New Balances on, and I'm gonna get off my lawn. But I think that is one of the biggest problems.
Yep.
In a lot of places of employment.
Mm-hmm.
We like to blame there's no good employees or there's no good talent. You have a hard time with good managers and directors and leaders, because they don't lead in that style, because they're afraid as soon as they go down to Brenda's workstation and tell Brenda that she's a complete up,
Brenda's going to go to
HR, and then it's going to be a problem. And I think that's like, you want to fix some of these things. Like, I'm a firm believer in strong leadership, and I think that, and also I've taken an MBA class with leadership, got an A in it, no big deal. Probably one of my favorite classes thus far.
And humble.
Thank you.
Very humble.
But like, what you learn though is like effective leaders are able to.
Jared's Prudence.
Jared's Prudence. I got Dr. Jared's Prudence. But like, I think that like you're talking like in that situation.
Now I need to clarify, because this isn't necessarily about work by any means. Like, I've been calling out some mofos out loud. Like, I drive past the daggone detention center in Dubois County every day on the way to work, and get pissed off at the people on the drunk scooter, the daggone DUI
ripping
thing.
darts.
And then I just, like, pick them apart for everything about them, from, like, the way their shoes look to the way they're driving that piece of shit tax-funded goddamn moped. I'm just saying, in general, I've been extra harsh.
Yeah, but
now that we're viral, I don't need anybody thinking this is a bitch about the hand that feeds me.
Yeah, it ain't. You don't want to bite that.
Yeah, no, you don't.
No.
But I mean, like, some of those people. Now, I represented a guy for a hot minute that was a scooter guy that I knew his
There are several.
I knew his tattoos that he had, and I never gave him any gruff because I knew what his tattoos were. But
I think the
I
thing
worked with a guy that had a naked lady, and she was like perfect, like as far as anatomically correct, stretched all the way up his arm, old biker guy. But her face was just like remember the yellow smiley face, like the two dots, and that was her face.
oh, that's cool.
And
what was the significance behind that?
so I asked one time, I looked at him, I was like, man, there's like a whole lot of work in there just to end up on that. He's like, what, you don't like it? I was like, no, it's a nice tattoo. He's like, it's my mom. Just to see what you say.
You know what I'm not a big fan of?
What's that?
Which I find myself doing it a lot. That I wish, like, introspective.
Introspectively?
I wish I could change more of it, but like, I really don't like a whole bunch of like do as I say, not as I do type shit. Does that make sense?
I'm one of those guys. I'm a big preacher. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, like I don't like that.
I want my kids to do better than me, though.
Well, sure, but I'm not. I'm just saying, like on a professional level, like you know what I mean. Like it's tough for me. I'm going to tread lightly here, just because, but like I'm not a dumbass.
No.
Some would say I am, but like intellectually,
Well, some can go themselves.
intellectually, like I know what the difference is between right. And
You, I know shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? I like know the difference between right and wrong. Okay. And in my line of work, there is numerous ways to skin the proverbial cat. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
there's, at the end of the day, we all have to canoe down the same creek and get to the same spot.
Lots of tributaries, though.
Right. And there's ways that you can do things differently.
Yeah, you can flip your canoe in the first stretch and
Exactly.
then still float
So
down all right.
with me, with some guys that are not as tenured, doesn't have as much seniority, haven't been there as long, or they're young, fresh into the workforce and stuff like that, to where whenever you're working, like they know what needs to be done. And there is a right way and a wrong way to do it. Even though the wrong way, you're going to get it done.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it depends on your...
But you gotta be able to tell these kids or people that you're working with, like, hey, dumb shit, like, what are you doing? Like, you can't do it that way. You got to do it this way, and then like
But is that your personal preference, or is that fact?
both, I guess, or
'Cause if it's your
the
personal
way, or
preference,
the
if
way,
that's just the way they like to row their canoe.
or it's the way you were taught, and you know that that's kind of like industry standard or like SOP. You know what I mean? Like, hey, look, man, like, I know what you got going on. Like, I can definitely see your wheels turning, but like so-and-so is not going to dig that. So you got to do it this way.
Yeah.
And then this new generation, which is fine, they're smart kids. They're very smart.
Some of them.
Yes, I won't take it away from them. But like, I'm not saying that their work ethic is lacking, because like we've talked about this before, like the days of the shit jobs, you know what I mean? Like, I just it doesn't seem like they're there as much as they used to be, like when we were younger. But it's like, hey man, like I told you what to do. We got to do it this way. And I'm not a boss, but I know how the boss wants shit done. And if he shows up and we're doing it the way you're doing it, I'm not going down with you. So you might as well, do it the way we're supposed to do it and just swallow it and do it and get it over with.
Well, and that's the...
And I don't know if that's bullying or not.
No.
Like calling him an idiot, or whatever. Like, hey, dipshit. Like, what are you doing that for?
Well,
But then
that's-
at the end of the day, they look back and you're like, oh, yeah, that makes total sense now.
Well, but what some of that is there's that expression that experience is a great teacher. Mm-hmm. And when you...
Brother Love brought that up that day about experience. And
But
all
when
that,
you've...
yeah.
When
I don't
you,
think he's coming back, by the way.
No, not
No,
a chance.
Not a chance, no.
But when you look at like the experience of doing things, in my line of work now, being a desk jockey, and we redline contracts and we try to do our part. And some of these contracts that you get from like major companies that we're not even a flea on their ass.
Right.
And we go through and you redline it like it's no tomorrow. Like, that's fine and dandy, but in the end, that's not what's going to happen. And we see it on some other stuff too, where it's like these contracts are terrible. Yeah, we can go redline all this stuff that we don't like, but in 5 years of experience, this is what I know is going to get the agreement. So what do? We wait to submit it week of. We get it processed. We get it done. Everybody's happy. But like, it's one of those things where, like, that's the difference. This is why, like, my legal education was great, because I didn't have a lot of the professors that got out of law school and then just started teaching, because experience is a great teacher. And those kids will learn, but the tough part that you have is sometimes you feel like you're smashing your thumb in the door, but they don't pick up on, oh, I get what you're saying now, because the person that approves this or supervises it,
They're very literal thinkers.
they're
Like,
literal
in
thinkers.
my experience.
To that extent, yeah, literal, but they're also like, well, this isn't how we were taught to do it at
Right.
X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Yeah, but you have a lot of people say, this is what the book tells you how it's done, but this is what happens in the real world. Like, this is what happens when this goes on. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you get your first criminal case, and you're like, well, this is a prime example. I'll have more than once in my career as a criminal defense attorney, they didn't read me my Miranda rights. Well, did you say anything? No, they didn't talk to me. Well, then there's no violation of your Miranda rights. What do you mean? Well, Miranda takes effect if it's a custodial interrogation. Well, they had me in handcuffs in the back of the car. Okay, did they ask you any questions? No. I said, okay, well, then there's nothing here that you can do. Well, that doesn't make sense, because they arrested me and they didn't read me my rights until I got to the jail. I was like, okay, well, did the sheriff's deputy talk to you in the car? Yeah, we talked about the weather. Okay, well, did you incriminate yourself in anything in the weather? No. Okay, well, then we're going to stop.
I wouldn't have shot that bitch if it was sunny.
Well, I had a case where that was reported. Yeah, anyway.
Oh, God.
But
bullying. We're not.
I feel like we got off the rail.
We're
all
not
comes
bullies, but I'm pretty good at making fun of people too. But I mean, in a
you know where
I
I
worked
love
with
it?
this old cat named Larry, and they had built this.
Shout out Larry.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say his last name.
But I'm going to describe him to a T.
Oh, he's a
got
good boy.
he's got a slight gimp. He's got dark rim glasses. Still lives at home with his mom.
But I had this. What do you call it? Gosh dang it! Platform you stand on above everything else, but it's freestanding. It's got a name. It's not a platform. I guess you call it a platform, but it's anyway. It's up there.
What in the hell?
pulpit,
No, I wasn't a preacher.
a scissor lift.
No, gosh dang it.
Man lift?
No, it's a freestanding permanent structure.
Freestanding. A platform. Good
Yeah,
job,
but
Dave.
there's another name for it. Anyway, so I had this thing, and I had
Is
a
your
little
wife
office
sending
on
dirty
there.
text right now?
No.
And we would sit up there though, and I oversaw this like automated cell, so there's no people in it, just robots. And I'd watch them all day, and everything was pretty well running. And I'd just sit up there, me and old Larry.
Like a perch,
Well, there's another name. It ain't a bird.
eagle's nest.
No, it's more of a industrial term.
Oh, okay.
Observatory tower.
No, god dang it. I'll come up with it later.
Tree stand.
But at any rate, we would just sit there and talk shit about everybody.
The robots.
No, all the people beyond the
Oh boy.
and just talk shit for hours. And that was probably the
Best job you ever had?
best times I ever had at a job. I'll say that.
That's kind of like that book question that I brought up a couple years ago about like if all of your peers around you in your immediate circle wrote a book specifically about you, like good, bad, or indifferent, would you read it? Like if you started reading it, you had to read it, you couldn't quit, or would you just pass on the whole thing? And like Dave, I think you said you wouldn't read it. Casey, I think you said you were 100%.
I thought I said I would read it.
Or maybe you would. I don't remember who said what.
I don't even remember this conversation.
But it was like, I mean,
I
yes,
remember it.
we do that all the time, like with people that are like we see in town, like just walking or driving or doing whatever they're doing in their own worlds, and you're like, what the f*** is that
That's
guy
what I'm
doing?
talking about. With like, I just been seeing people, and the problem is normally I keep it to myself, but now here lately, I feel like I've been vocalizing it.
Like
Not necessarily to a
them.
person.
Like driving
no,
down the
no.
road. Hey, asshole! It's noontime. Put on pants instead of your pajama pants.
Yeah, like, hey, you can't park there, but like really they're like in a wreck or something, you know, like shit like that.
Hey, get your damn car off the road.
I've just been sharing my thoughts with others about those type of things.
Because you have a level of frustration right now.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You have a level
Like I
of
say, my
frustration.
filter is just normally I think it to myself and chuckle. Good one.
Hey, did you see Brenda in the break room? My God, she doesn't need another Snickers. Fat bitch. Is that what you're going through, Dave?
No, none of this is working.
Dave,
Man,
you know
George's old lady must have really forgot to buy him some deodorant. That motherfucker stunk today.
Dave, you realize I am.
Damned his shoe has laces. How the do you get those?
You do realize I'm the director of HR. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm telling you this stuff now. But I love being like in public setting at places, like especially like certain events
People watching.
and the people watching comments. If we could,
Jenna can get in.
Oh, Justine and I, God damn it, we're good at it.
it is
At a restaurant or anywhere, like we talked about the kraut ball experience
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there
yeah.
at the restaurant, and we got into another one at the same restaurant where this woman must have been like showing a bunch of like Japanese or Chinese clients that were in town and talking about her son and how he used to do this and that, but now he's better and all this shit. Justine and I are like, these poor Asian people give no f***s about your kid. Like, they just want to know.
You're a degenerate kid. They just want to know what's good here at the Schnitzel Box.
Exactly, yes, exactly, yes.
I don't know. But I think everybody does it. I think everybody does it too.
I guess I've been feeling, a little negative on myself because I'm not a bullier, but I could be a great bully.
Oh,
Like I could be.
because you have been bullied.
Oh
before.
yeah,
But
I've
I
been in
think-
And I know
shoes.
every trick
But
in the book.
I think-
Hypocritical is the word I was looking for a second ago.
But for your platform, that doesn't.
No,
okay.
no.
But I think like bullying is like
I know
there's
there's-
like a consistent state. Like
there's
you
this-
see one person, one time, one comment, like you're just entertaining yourself.
There's this little bastard that works with me every day that keeps hiding my water jug.
Oh, shit stick.
Yeah. One of these days, I told him today,
That's your water jug.
yeah,
Don't ring
like I
your
had my
fucking
water
ring in there.
jug, and like I went into the bathroom and went into the stall, and then I heard him come in to take a piss, and then like he walked out, but then I washed my hands and was getting ready to go back to work, and like my water jug was missing, and I was like, that little fucker. So I knew it had to be somewhere in the breaker or in the locker room area or the bathroom or in the shower or wherever, you know. So I go back and I find it.
He's googling the
Oh,
industrial platform.
Mezzanine.
Mezzanine. The mezzanine. There you go. So I find it, and a couple hours later we're going back for somewhere else. He's like, "Hey, did you find your water jug earlier?" I was like, "Yeah, you little shit. I knew that you was you when you came in there, and you're lucky I didn't go into the break room and take a shit in your lunchbox because that was going to be my next step." But I didn't.
You
So,
didn't.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. We could talk about it for days.